Hello, students. Today we are going to begin with lesson 1 of geography, that is all around us. So, first of all, can you tell me what is environment? Environment refers to the conditions and surroundings under which we live and we carry out all our activities, or you can say your whole surroundings. That is called environment. Now, environment is a combination of physical as well as human components. Under physical environment, land, water, air, and other natural resources comes, and human environment includes the human factors. That is all the factors other than natural factors. Man made environment is created by man himself. He lives in a society, he has a family, place of work, neighbors, community, religion. All these are part of his environment, that is man made environment. Environment consists of both biotic as well as abiotic things. Biotic things include all the living organisms such as human beings, plants, animals and other organisms. And abiotic things includes all non-living elements like land, water, man-made structures, etc. And both these biotic and abiotic things, they coexist in the environment, means they are interdependent on each other. Now our natural environment consists of four spheres, or you can call them realms. These four realms are lithosphere, that is land, atmosphere, that is air, hydrosphere, that is water, and biosphere means when all these three exist together to support life. That is called biosphere. So let us study one by one all these spheres. First of all, lithosphere. It is a Greek word which means rock. Lithosphere is the outer layer of the earth and it consists of all the land masses, whatever land masses are there on the earth, and ocean beds. Under the ocean, there is a bed of rock or land, you can say, that is also a part of lithosphere. So it is made up of rocks and soil. Now, Earth has three main layers: crust, mantle, and core. Crust is the outermost solid part of the earth. It is very thick under the continents and it is very thin under the oceans. Mantle is the next immediate below the crust. Below the crust, the next layer of the earth is mantle. It is a layer of medium density material. Here the density is medium. There is a next layer under the mantle, that is innermost part of the earth. It is called core. Core is also divided into two parts, that is outer core and inner core. Outer core is entirely made up of molten metal and inner core is a solid ball of iron and nickel. Then the next realm of earth is atmosphere, that is the air. So what how will you define atmosphere? We can define it like a thin blanket of air surrounding the earth from all sides is called atmosphere. Now, atmosphere is present only on the planet earth, and that is why earth is also called a unique planet. Now, the question is that why atmosphere is present only on the planet earth? Students, the answer is this: because earth has gravitational force and this gravitational force attract all the things towards it. So the earth's gravity help the atmosphere to retain on the earth. Atmosphere is a mixture of certain gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, and dust particles. Now, all of us know that without oxygen, no living things can survive. All the living things need oxygen to breathe. We also need oxygen to breathe. So, they give life and help in growth of living organisms. Then, carbon dioxide is inhaled by the plants, and they get this carbon dioxide from the air, and they in return they exhale oxygen. There is a presence of ozone gas in the atmosphere, and this ozone gas protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Atmosphere also consists of nitrogen. Nitrogen gives nutrition to the plants and other organisms of the earth. Dust particles and water droplets are also present in the atmosphere. Water droplets, they join together to form clouds, and the clouds give us rain. Now the next realm of the earth is hydrosphere. Hydrosphere means, hydro means water. So nearly 3/4 of earth's surface is covered by hydrosphere. It consists of mainly all the water bodies found on the earth, namely oceans, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, etc. Now we know that water is very essential part of living organisms. We cannot live without water. Plants need water to make food and grow. Man also needs water. He utilizes water in many forms, like he use water for drinking, washing, and cooking. The same way, seawater is also useful. It cannot be used directly to drink or to consume it in other activities, but seafood like fishes, shrimps, lobsters, etc., they are provided by the sea. The water which flows from height, for example from mountains, that water is used to generate hydroelectricity. Then the next realm of the earth is biosphere. When lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere, all these three spheres, they exist together and support life, it is called biosphere. Can you think that life is possible in the absence of any one of these three? If I say that okay, I am providing you hydrosphere and atmosphere, but I will not provide you with lithosphere, is life possible in absence of lithosphere? No. In the same way, if I say that okay, you are having lithosphere and atmosphere, but you will not get hydrosphere, again it is impossible. So when all these three spheres, they exist together to support life, that is called biosphere. Various elements of the biosphere, they interact with each other and they support plant and animal life. Now, what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is just interdependence of biotic and abiotic components. Plants and animals in any area, they live together by depending upon non-living components present there. Which are non-living components? Like soil, water, air, etc. What type of soil, what type of water, what type of air is present in that particular area? Plants and animals, they depend upon that particular area. They are interdependent on each other. So that is called an ecosystem. It is basically, we call it that this is the coexistence of biotic and abiotic components in an area. So this ecosystem can be natural also, and it can be artificial also. Natural ecosystem is that which occurs naturally. It can be on land also, that is called terrestrial ecosystem. It can be in the water bodies also, that is called the aquatic ecosystem. And artificial ecosystem, it is made by man, where the living and non-living components are provided by man. Have you understood, beta, what is an ecosystem? Now, next topic is food chain. Now, in ecosystem, various food chains and food webs are found. All organisms, they depend upon each other, and they flow energy from plant to animal, and from that animal to another animal. That is called a food chain. For example, a deer eats plants and tiger eat the deer. This is the food chain. Now, these food chains are also interlinked with each other. These interlinked food chains are called food webs. Plants, they consume energy from the sun. Plants are eaten by the herbivore animals, for example, deer. Deer eat the grass and tiger eats the deer. So this energy of plants which was consumed by the sun, that is transferred to the tiger through deer. This way food chain is connected to form food web. Now, next type of environment is human environment. Till now, we have done natural environment. Natural environment, let us recall that natural environment consists of four realms: lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Lithosphere means land, atmosphere means air, hydrosphere means water, and biosphere means when all these three exist together. Now, our next type of environment is human environment. Human, the environment, like we know that it is both natural as well as human. If we go in the ancient period, we can see that early man was a hunter and a gatherer, food gatherer. He was totally dependent upon the nature. He was not knowing that till that time that he can modify the natural environment to fulfill his needs. But over the years, slowly and slowly, he learned to modify his environment to fulfill his need. He discovered fire, he invented wheel, and he learned the art of growing crops, and then he started living a settled life. Groups of families were formed and they started living together. This led to the development of communities and villages. There was an agricultural and industrial revolution, and this industrial and agricultural revolution led to the generation of surplus of food and goods. Means there was generation of food and goods in surplus. Surplus means when the food grains are more than enough, means the food grains which we require, which we need, are consumed by us, but still we have extra food grains. That extra food grains are surplus. So man developed society, he made laws, established economy. He is part of his family also, community also, state also, and nation also. Today, the word is also called global village. Why? Because today the word is being contracted into one unit by the electronic technology. Electronic technology, that is internet and world wide web. We can see that through internet we are uh, come closer, all have come closer to each other. Now we can see that we can talk to a person who is living in any other country. We can do a video call, we can see him or her on a screen through internet. So that is called the contraction into one unit by electronic technology. Today man is part of a techno world, and here he can communicate with anybody in any part of the world at any time. today man is not living in isolation. He is a part of a global village. He also lives in computer simulated environment that is called virtual reality. Virtual reality means where a person can feel his presence in the real as well as in a virtual place. Now we see that man has achieved so much in the technology, he has developed so much in technology, but what is the impact of man on the environment? Man is a very important part of environment. Like if we can see that there were natural resources and natural environment existing even when early man was there, but until early man has not learned to use that natural things, till that time they were useless for the human being. Only human being has made use of those natural things to convert them into valuable things. So that is why man is a very integral part or important part of the environment. Man only has been able to change his environment according to his needs. He has played a double role. He had become a developer also, but at the same time, he has also become a polluter. He has used the resources ruthlessly. Ruthlessly means blindly to fulfill his desires. He has not cared about the depletion of the environment. He has overutilized the resources, and this has led to the environmental pollution. Many unwanted and harmful agents are, can say, discharged in the natural environment, and that cause environment pollution. For example, to increase agricultural development, artificial chemicals are used by the farmers, and these artificial chemicals, they have led to the problem of land degradation. Land degradation has reduced the quality of land. Similarly, nowadays we are making use excessive use of vehicles, and there is industrial emission. Whatever waste is emitted from the industries, that is thrown into the water bodies or on the land, and it has led to increase in carbon dioxide and other harmful gases in the atmosphere. So this has led to global warming, that is increase in average temperature of the earth's atmosphere. So all these are causing various health problems. So there is a need to conserve our environment, and we should have a sense that how we can develop without harming our environment. So it is the need of an hour. So all of us have to contribute to save our environment. So I hope students, all of you have understood the whole chapter. Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask in WhatsApp group according to your time, the time which is given to you. I'll send you the book work and the question answers that you have to write in your registers. If registers are not available, you can write anywhere, whatever is available to you. Okay, students, have a good day. Goodbye.